Hola familia, sending you guys some love here from this beautiful place that we find ourselves in. I don't know if you can see this amazing land here, but we are in Orcas Island, and it is an incredible place. Staying with a good friend of ours and getting ready to go to Imagine Festival. But we just got back from Europe.
7 weeks in Europe.
We've been nonstop, just in the incredible summer lands. Welcome everybody. Good to see all your faces jumping on. Hola. So yeah, it's really incredible to be back in the United States. And of course, Orcas doesn't quite feel like the United States completely, but it's really great to hear all the English and feel the land here on Turtle Island. So sending you guys lots of love here from Orcas, and wanted to create an opportunity to drop in today and give everyone a chance to ask some questions. We're going to be dropping in around this beautiful retreat that's coming up, Music is Medicine retreat. It's going to be coming up this month from the 24th to the 30th of September in Utah.
In Boulder, Utah. Small, amazing, beautiful town in Utah. It's not normal that we have spots for our retreats left this late in the game. Usually they're full and on a wait list. So we have spots available, which is kind of a miracle. And so we're doing our best to make sure that the right constellation of people is able to be there, because it's just such a wonderful container that we love.
Yeah,
collaborating and facilitating. We had a retreat in Europe this summer in Estonia for the second time, and had such a beautiful group and with such depth. I always tell people that my favorite moment from the retreats is the final sharing circle, where we look around at everyone and we remember that just a few days before we were all strangers and nervous and feeling awkward, and then at the end everyone is just present and in their body and hearts open and voice open and connected, and it's just so beautiful the way that the music does its magic and works us all together as a circle.
Transforms us, weaves us together. So we're going to be, we had a really deep one in Estonia in Europe, incredible retreat, and so it feels really special that we're going to get to do this one again in the United States. I think one of the highlights from the tour, I don't know if you guys were able to follow, was at Medicine Festival, where we did the Music is Medicine workshop. We'll do the workshops like a 2 to 3 hour format. We're actually going to do one here at Imagine Festival this weekend on Sunday. And the workshops are so great because it's just like a little taste of what we do in the retreats. And we had, I think it was close to 300 people there in this, and just like overflowing with folks in the space. And it was just such an energy and a vibe to feel everyone who was so dropped in and just ready to go there, like right off from the first note. And by the time we left, just feeling the ecstatic energy that we created in that amount of time. And for me, and I think Ashley too, it's like, for us, it's like it really re-inspires us and with why we do this work, why we travel the world, why we, carry all the equipment to all the corners of the planet, and then offer these retreat experiences, because they're really this opportunity to go into a deeper dive and to really open up ourselves to the layers that are possible when we give ourselves that time and space, and to open, become vulnerable, and feel safe but held, and then to go into our stretch zone, where we stretch ourselves into places maybe we never have before, and opening and refining the instrument.
So if anyone who's listening has questions about specifically this upcoming retreat, or our retreats in general, the Music is Medicine workshops and work in general, feel free to ask anything in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer.
I love getting all the love from you guys. Thank you all. Oh, so good. From Bucharest, Sari, Lisboa, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in with us. So any questions? We wanted to give opportunity. Anybody has any questions about the Music is Medicine work that we're doing, the curriculum, the retreat experience, anything that you'd like, please throw some questions towards us. We'd love to be able to answer. Someone's asking, what's the itinerary like? Great question.
So it's depending on our location, it's either 6 or 7 days. So in Utah, we take the full 7 days, and most of the days there's at least one, if not several, blocks where Poranguí is offering the curriculum around opening the voice, some techniques on working with the voice, singing in a circle, improvising, as well as body percussion, polyrhythm. And it's all in a very like fun container, and we find that we purposely include people in the circle that are both total beginners with their voice or with musicianship, as well as people who have much more experience, even, you know, professional touring musicians, because everyone learns so much from each other, and it's a container that can really offer something to everyone. So there's that curriculum is woven throughout the week. And then it's complemented, we hold it as a whole as a ceremony. And so it's complemented by, we do breath work, a guided dance journey where Poranguí plays live. He also plays a live sound healing set for integration. We go out on the land. In Utah, we take a whole day off in the middle of the retreat to go out on the land. People can choose which level of hike they want and rest as much as they want and integrate. But we have these different modalities like the breath work and the dance and various things to help work through everything that can come up when we're working with the voice, with being seen and with making sound. And that way we have these different ways to support everyone in their own individual journey on whatever things come up in the container.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, it's designed in a way so that we can go really deep in the 5 to 7 days, depending on which format. This one's going to be a 7-day container. So we have the land journey in Utah in this place that is like, I call it, you know, it's the spiritual parents of Sedona. So if anyone's ever been to Sedona, if you've heard of Sedona, the red rocks there, this place is literally like the parents that gave birth to Sedona. And so it's like, it's unreal. It's like Sedona on a whole other scale, like X 100. So really,
and the hiking guys that join us are usually, I have to
masters.
confirm that they're the ones coming, but usually it's friends of ours, personal friends, and they're the kind of guys who are like on National Geographic doing these, you know, outdoor survival skill shows and things. They're the teachers of these things, and they live there because it's just so epic. We're joined by some magical beings.
So we'll get a chance to be out on the land. We'll get a chance to sing in those canyons and the red rocks. There's a number of spaces there where acoustically it has this resonance that really touches the soul, and which is why we choose to do it in this place. So there's a lot of ways that we weave. We'll be using the land like that in conjunction, and then as Ashley said, deep offerings, you know, ceremonial offerings throughout the week, using sound, using the body as an instrument. And I think just to speak a little bit, like, you know, for people of all levels. So Ashley was mentioning, like, so we've had people who are touring artists with us and have gotten so much out of the experience, and we've had people who are frightened of their voice, join us and then go through such this alchemical transformation. So that's really part of the power of this curriculum and why we offer it. It's an opportunity to really open us and deepen us through the magic, the portal of the circle and the power that the circle holds. And in that, a lot of this work, some folks were asking, like, where does it come from? So one of my original teachers is Bobby McFerrin, and his work in circle song, which is one of the inspirations for this work. And then it's also been a lot of the years of my traveling and teaching. Ashley's also experience with dance and movement and facilitation is also woven into the work. So it's really beautiful. So we can kind of bring our complementary skills into it. And then the actual circle itself, like working with these different groups, like this is now going to be, I think, our 10th retreat since we started this curriculum. And it has so much information that is just comes from the actual group, from the dynamic of the group and how they, you know, just the unique constellation of souls that come together and then what emerges in that. And every time we're always blown away of like what comes out of it. Like we never could have expected, we couldn't have planned it that way, and it's always like so precise and so perfect in the energy that comes through and the healing. So I just want to speak to that.
We somebody did ask where in Utah. It's in Boulder, Utah, which is a very small town with very few inhabitants, but we've become really close friends and allies with the owner of this guest ranch, who have spent their time and their energy regenerating land there that were formal cattle ranches, and the springs are returning and the beavers are returning to the river, and they have gardens and an amazing restaurant that feeds us the whole time. It's a really beautiful little somewhat hidden jewel in Boulder. And then right over the ridge from where their property is, it just opens up until the Red Canyon expanse. That's where we go for the hikes.
It's like Grand Canyon, but instead of being like very vertical, it's like Grand Canyon like opened out and filleted. So it's just this beautiful, all these layers and geology, ancient part of our mother. So it's a really beautiful place to drop into the frequency. And so part of the intention of making the offering and creating this music together as a group, creating this ceremony, is making an offering of how we also give back to the land, how we are able to then use that music, our voices, to sing for the land and leave it more beautiful than we find it, which is a major part of the work that we do in the world. So someone asked if there was any online options. Tyler, Simon? So
yeah, at this time there's not an online option for the retreat itself. It's part of the magic is being there together. Yeah. It's a whole other topic, but just any of you that don't know, we do have an online community. Through our website, there's a membership tab.
Music is Medicine
community, which is free to join, but then there's a subgroup that's a paid group where Poranguí does teach online classes of all kinds of different topics. So it's a little more like, intellectual Q&A and,
partially because the limitation of
being
online, but so you can't kind of do all the activities and what we create in the in-person experience. But I do teach on various topics, and a lot of people who've been to the retreats have also are part of that community. So it's a beautiful way to meet others, to be able to dive in deep with others who are also very passionate about using music, using dance for healing. So I think it's a really great resource for everyone tuning in and anyone who's interested in these topics. And then it's a way that I can still continue to share the knowledge that I have from everything. So we talk about topics ranging from looping and like kind of the tech around that and how to do that, all the way to like how to play didgeridoo, like circular breathing, and how to apply that to other instruments. So it's kind of a full range, how to hold space on stages, how to be able to improvise in the face of when the technology fails us, and how do we turn that into more creative beauty, even in those hardships, difficult moments, which I know we've had a few. I think some of you have probably caught over the years with my crazy spaceship. So
I love that somebody asked what are the usual reasons people come to you guys. So, as we mentioned before, it's always a wide range of musical experience of people in the group, and there's no one answer. I would say that everyone feels a calling, feels that spark of inspiration when they hear about this experience. And so, sometimes people are really wanting to work on a specific skill, like being able to improvise more with their voice or with their instrument even. It's also for people who are just really ready for another level of personal growth, and doing that in a really supportive and really fun group container where the circle helps us all on the next steps on our journey, on our path. What did you say other reasons why people come?
I mean, some of it's just literally they've been really traumatized around singing and opening the voice, right? Opening the instrument. And so some people come because
it's really common that so many people have stories from our childhood about someone who told us to shut up, or that we weren't singing well, or, we all have these experiences that really impact us. It's a really common thing. Yeah. And so we're there to help unpack those together. Yeah,
in a really beautiful container.
I also love, too, that sometimes people come because they just love Porangui's music, or because a friend recommended it, and they really have no idea what they're getting into, and then they're just blown open, and it's so beautiful. That's
some of the best, because people just come like, I really didn't know what to expect. And because, and that's part of the magic of it, is we kind of leave it a little more mysterious. So that's why we wanted to share a little bit more. But honestly, there's a magic that is in that. It's just coming and being in it, and then the opportunity to be able to receive the transmission when we're together and our hearts are close, we get to feel each other's energy, and then what comes from that. It's always perfect, and it's always kind of mysterious. It's no two are ever alike.
Someone did just ask a reminder on the date. It's the last week of September, so it's coming up soon, and we're on here because we have a few spots left, which is unusual for a retreat. So September 24th to 30th is the date of the retreat. Yeah. Someone else also asked, can someone just come to enjoy? And that's the beauty of it, that people come for all different reasons, and even though we're doing really deep inner work, it's also just a lot of fun. And singing together, making music with people, hiking together, dancing together, all these things. and really another perk is getting to, you know, receive Porangui's musical medicine in an intimate container when there's only a few of us in the room.
We'll be playing for a very intimate audience. I mean, you know, we keep retreats smaller intentionally so that we can go really deep with the group. So you'll receive a live sound healing journey. So I'll be doing that one of the nights. And one of the other nights, I also do a dance set where Ashley is guiding. And we do a cacao ceremony as part of that. And it's really profound to get to be able to perform for this small group. We bring a beautiful, in Utah, we have an amazing PK sound system. So it's actually, the sound is unreal, basically, for our little group. It's kind of, I get to indulge a little bit in that way, which is really awesome when we throw down in this amazing space called the Sailoon, which is a beautiful space. I've performed there with Dirt Wire over the years. It's a really epic little venue that's built into the retreat center that our friends have in Boulder.
Actually built like into the earth.
Into the earth. So like we're held inside the womb of the earth, and that's where we do a lot of the circle songs. It's also where I happened, for those who have listened to Beauty Way album, that's where I recorded the Beauty Way album. Actually there, they also have a state-of-the-art recording studio. So it's a really special spot, which we're really excited to share with the group that comes in just a couple weeks. So yeah.
Someone asked about the hike also, and what we do on the hike day. The way these lands are held there in Utah is that you're required to have a guide and to keep the groups kind of small. So usually we have 2 or sometimes even 3 different options for the hike day so that you can choose your level of difficulty and length. So usually we have one that's kind of like a whole day adventure, and then one that's maybe more of like a half day if you want to be back early and just rest, you know, for the rest of the day.
Or if you want to visit some waterfalls.
Or some people just stay on the land where we are because there's a beautiful stream and little waterfall that flows right there through the land, and they just want to rest and journal and sit by the creek. And so on that day, everyone gets to choose their own adventure. And then the one hike that we do all together as a group at the end is accessible for everyone.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. I mean, it's like unreal. I think we have a couple clips. We'll share up some more clips too from it probably really soon, and you'll see some of it in some of the canyons that we've been in. Yeah, beautiful. Any other question? I think someone had a question just about, let me go back through here. Someone had a question about frequencies, I think. Yes, we do talk to frequency. You know, as far as like 432, we don't have to tune so much to 432 because we're going to be using a lot as we use the voice and we use the body as an instrument. So I'll be teaching kind of various techniques, how to play the body as an instrument, different percussive techniques, different rhythms, different understandings of rhythm. We'll be dealing with melodic, kind of rhythmic principles of music, elements of melody and elements of harmony, and how those all come together, and then how we interplay with those in improvisation. So it's like really principles and techniques that you can then apply to any instrument outside of the body. And we'll also have a night where we jam, and people who bring their own instruments, they'll have a chance to play together and tell stories.
Yeah, sometimes we get 2 nights in Utah.
Yeah, that's right.
After the hike day.
We get a couple jam nights. Yeah. So those are fun opportunities. So yeah, people bring instruments in 440 and in 432. You know, as far as, you know, specifically around the teaching, I do go into that a bit. But for me, at the core of it, you know, is really talking about what is the intention of how we use the music, more than getting too hung up on the specific frequency that something's tuned to. In my experience, I've found that ultimately makes the biggest difference, you know, and say the 80-20 principle is that it's about how you're using whatever instrument you have, you know, however it's tuned, how are you using that to create, what kind of intention you bring into it to create change, to create transformation, to make a prayer. You know, there's no, it's less, you know, getting kind of like in the debate of, is this more sacred than that? So we get into that some more, and we'll unpack it.
Someone did just ask if we offer this in the future. We will. Right now, we've been in a flow of offering like 2 per year in the U.S., and then we added in the Europe retreat. We've looked at some other locations. We've done Europe twice now. Currently, just to be honest, we're kind of, our plans are kind of booked out through February, and then we're in a little bit of a mystery, seeing what next year will hold for us, and potentially taking a little time off the road.
Amazing.
Maybe focusing on just offering retreats, or maybe taking a little breather from all of it. We're not totally sure yet.
Yeah.
So that's all to be discovered. And I just see Kelsey joined.
Welcome,
I'm glad
Kelsey.
I saw you join. I was just about to mention I was thinking of you. We're so lucky that our sister Kelsey, who lives in Sedona with us, joins us for these retreats. She's been coming for a number of years now to these retreats. There both to capture the magic through photo and video that she shares with everyone.
Total magic.
And then also
magician.
to be another alchemist in the space with us and help support the various ceremonies.
Yeah.
And I think she might be bringing some of a little yin yoga medicine for us this year. So
Be amazing.
we're so happy to always have her back with us.
We also have, someone had a question about if children are welcome. So we've had children come, but not under, I think the youngest child that we ever had. I think
Not at our retreats, actually.
No? So I know we had a father-son, we've had mother-daughters, we had different
adult
people
children.
come. Yeah, but no, there was some that were like, I think the youngest was in their teens. But generally we won't do anything under teens for this container because we go into really deep, various deep topics that sometimes it can be hard if you're kind of having to be more in like a parenting role. So definitely
It's a very full schedule. We try
Yeah.
to make sure that everyone has their space for integration and rest, but in general it's a pretty full schedule, so it's a lot to kind of divide your attention. We do have the desire at some point in the future to create a more family oriented
it's more
experience.
for all age.
The
The workshops we do have all ages generally attend, like at festivals and things like that. Sometimes kids will come to those. But yeah,
So
definitely eventually we'll design that. But this one isn't designed for that. So to answer your question. Any other questions before we hop off of here? Let us know, you guys. Anything else you'd like to know about the Music is Medicine container? I think I caught most of them. Trying to go through these, but let's see. We're super stoked to share it with you. It's really, like Ashley said, we're probably going to take some time off the road this coming year, is much needed after we get through this next round of tour. So we'll be on the West Coast. For those who don't know, we just got back from Europe. And we're going to basically have about a week or so home before we do the retreat. And then we'll be heading over to the West Coast to do kind of like California, mostly California, Las Vegas, and I think Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix and Salt Lake City.
In Salt Lake City. So if you're in any of those places, we'll be there in October. And that'll be kind of our last big U.S. run. Then I'll be in Brazil for a little bit, and then we go to Mexico for some shows, and then Bali for New Year's. And after that, we're looking at a possibly New Zealand and Australia tour there in kind of Jan-Feb. And then March, heading back here to the States. And then at that point, we don't have anything booked, and we're kind of looking at maybe just chilling out, laying low, taking care of ourselves. So that's kind of what's in the flow right now, if anyone was curious. And then retreats, we're going to see. So we don't know when the next retreat will be after this one. So if you can, definitely make the effort to join us for this one. And we're super stoked to be with you guys. So if there aren't any other questions, I'm going to close it out here and just sending a lot of love to you. Yeah, Tyler, awesome. Great to hear you'll be joining the community. And sending you guys big squeezes here from Orcas Island. Someone's asking here, any shows in Chico or Shasta?
No, we have Nevada City and we have Berkeley.
Berkeley's gonna be
have a
epic.
big show in Berkeley.
Please come out to the Berkeley show if you're anywhere in the vicinity. This is gonna be
NorCal.
We're putting a lot of energy into this really beautiful theater we're gonna be playing in Berkeley. So hope you guys will join us for that yumminess. And Atela, sending you guys so much love and beauty, and we hope we'll get to see you either in the circle or somewhere really soon. So we'll send off here, showing you this amazing land, and keep making beautiful música.
Much love to you all.
Tchau, gente.